Hi everyone. Today we're going to be working with the Detail tool. The Detail tool is responsible for the sharpness of our pictures. See here? It's already set up. Lightroom does it on its own. These are standard settings that the software adds to any photo. I must warn you that sharpness in Lightroom ruins your photo. That's why I always set the amount of sharpness to 10, maximum 15, and sometimes 30. The other two sliders, Radius and Detail, I adjust according to the amount settings, as you can see here. The Amount slider is responsible for the overall sharpness in the picture. Radius is in charge of sharpness and larger details of the image, while the Detail slider is responsible for the smaller details in the photograph. If you press the Alt key on your computer or the Command key on your MacBook, you will activate a mode that prevents you from over-sharpening the photo. I'm going to add more sharpness now to demonstrate how it ruins the picture when we have the sliders set to the max. The photo is covered with pixel defects that can't be corrected later. Also, it's not ideal in case you decide to print your picture in a large format. Therefore, at the initial stage of editing, I always set the sharpness to the minimum. If later I decide to post it somewhere on the internet or send it to print, I'll add as much sharpness as required by the internet or printing guidelines. You should always add sharpness at the end. There is also a fourth slider called Masking, which I never use, because, in my opinion, it spoils the picture. This tool blurs the texture of the skin, making our model look unnatural, like a poorly drawn doll and not a living person. The next item in the Detail section is Noise Reduction. As the name suggests, it is the removal of noise from the photo. It doesn't do a very good job, so I put a maximum of 15 for very noisy images, where the ISO exceeds 2500. In general, I like noise very much and have a positive attitude towards it in my pictures. I find it always adds a bit of atmosphere to photos. The next slider is Color. It is responsible for the color noise in the photo. Let me show it to you. What is color noise? If we turn off the camera calibration for a moment and add a bit of saturation, you'll see the color noise. Unfortunately, there's always a lot of noise in the shadows of Canon 5D Mark III. Even if you're shooting with a powerful light source, and even in the sunniest of weather. Look, here they are. All these green and red pixels that came out. The standard Lightroom setting for this is 25. But like I said, I only set it at 25 when my ISO exceeds 2500. Usually, I'll set the color noise to 0 or lower it to about 10-15. Here, I'll set the color slider to 0 because it kills the most delicate colors in the picture, which are important for me to keep. Now, I've reapplied my camera calibration settings, which also removes a bit of color noise. For purposes of demonstration, and so it's easier for you to see the details and other process in this recording, I will sharpen the image more than I typically do. But when you edit on your own, reduce the sharpness to the minimal setting and see what happens.